Nandini ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. I am Nandini Upadhyay, your host for the show. So, would like to welcome you all. So, let me tell you a bit about Ed Talks. So, Ed Talk is a platform where educators and leaders like you come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. So, our topic for today's discussion is addressing bullying and cyberbullying in schools. To express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us today Miss Aradhana Rana ma'am, who is the director of the Icon Public School, Ahmednagar. Welcome, Aradhana ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have Dr. Chaya Sharma ma'am, who is the principal of KR Public School, Maharashtra. Welcome, Chaya ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Thakur sir, who is the principal of Indian Public School, Bihar. Welcome, Thakur sir. We have with us Miss Jatinder Kaur ma'am, who is the principal of SGN Higher Secondary Public School, Uttarakhand. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Thank you, Nandini. Thank you so much. Am I audible, Nandini?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So next we have Dr. Ravikant sir, who is the CEO of Vidya Deep Techno Group of Schools, Hyderabad. Welcome, Ravikant sir. We have with us Dr. Swati ma'am, who is the principal of RS Memorial International School, Rajasthan. Welcome, Swati ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nandini, and good evening to all the esteemed principals on the panel.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have with us Miss Anju ma'am, who is the principal of LP Swani International School, Surat. Welcome, Anju ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
We have with us next is Mr. Indranath sir, who is the principal of Ronak Public School, Sonipat, Haryana. Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you, Nandini. Good evening to you and good evening to everyone.
We have with us Dr. Bhavna Chibar ma'am, who is the principal of Laburnam Public School, Gurgaon, Haryana. Welcome, ma'am.
Jai Hind, everyone. Welcome to everybody, and thank to NTAP for inviting all of us. Thank you.
Next, we have with us Mr. Rajesh Kumar sir, who is the principal of Om Shanti Siksha Sadan, Senior Secondary School, Haryana. Welcome, Rajesh sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nandini ji.
Good evening, sir. So, a very warm welcome to all the educators present today. It's so good to have you all. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time for this panel discussion. So, let's start with our session for today. So, my very first question is for Swati ma'am. Ma'am, what policies and procedures does your school have in place to address bullying and cyberbullying? Over to Swati ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nandini. Respected principals on the panel and all the viewers who are referring to the YouTube channel of NTAB. Since we all have gathered here to address to a very alarming topic, that is cyberbullying. When it comes to cyber, we say this thing has been this thing has been quite an alarming one because all these internet facilities, they are into the hands of our children right now, and this is all because of the COVID era which we've just been passed through, because of which students are using mobiles, students are using computers or laptops or any internet facility or Wi-Fi facility very frequently. Now they've been asked by the schools also to use all these facilities. Earlier these facilities were not as used as it is used right now. Because of this facility usage, the risk of bullying has increased and it has been focused on usage of internet also. Now, when we talk of cyberbullying, we normally say it is an act of harassing or targeting a person. Now, that person can be your peers, that person can be your juniors, that person can even be your senior also, somebody who is not strong as far as a personality is concerned. So, any student who lives nearby, any student who studies along can harass or target a student by giving wrong messages, by giving wrong signals also. And because of it, a student with a weak personality or a student with a meek personality can be affected. Now that effect can be mentally, it can be psychologically, and it can be physical also. We say normally when it comes to my school, we say and we normally advise our students that when it comes to cyberbullying, the very first line of defense of cyberbullying is you. It can be you only. You are the person who can say no to cyberbullying. You are the person who can say no to bullying in any case, whatever be the mode of that bullying is. And once that bullying is being said no by you, nobody can affect you. But at times, students are not in a position to say no because the person who is bullying you is maybe your senior, or the person who is bullying you is affecting your psyche. So I say that when it comes to my school, we've adopted certain policies and procedures to keep a track over bullying things, to keep a track of a cyberbullying thing in equivocal situation. Now, when it comes to my school, I say we've adopted certain committees. Now, those committees are our students committee, the very first line of defense, that any student can easily approach their peers, any student can easily approach their seniors and report bullying and cyberbullying to them. Then, next line of defense is the student committees normally approaches to their teachers, and then we say it is a committee of teachers in which we've got female teachers also and we've got male teachers also. Apart from that, we've got a council member also apart to that teachers committee. Now then the third line of defense is the authorities committee, which have got parents also to it, which have got committee members, that is the education society members, the school principal being the person in charge, and the student member also, which can be a council member. Now, when a report comes to these committees, we normally try to talk to both the parties, the person who is being bullied and the person who is bullying. And we try to find out the way out so that the student is not affected psychologically, and we try to make a way in between so that the person who is being bullied is also at a redressal and the person who is bullying is also not affected by any kind of treatment, maybe a harsh treatment from the school authorities or from the parents. So we normally approach a student who is being bullied or is bullying through these committees only, and we try to look for a way out and solve the issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Swati ma'am, for sharing your policies and procedure. I think so. Every school should have such community where the children can go and approach the teachers or the higher authorities and share their problems. So thank you, ma'am. So my next question is for Rajesh, sir. Sir, how is the school educating students, parents, and staff about the impact of bullying and cyberbullying? Over to Rajesh, sir.
Thank you so much, Nandini, in time for organizing wonderful discussion on the current hot issue. Cyberbullying is a major problem in schools nowadays. This has been increased after the pandemic, and we are facing a lot of problems in schools regarding the cyber and the cyberbullying. And this can be seen in different form in schools, like eye rolling, prolonged staring, back turning, abusing, teasing, laughing without any reason, and name calling and physical assault. Regarding the cyberbullying, this may be a technological harassment, and this can be seen such in schools, and a lot of cases are coming for the cyber bullying and the bullying also. Because what happened after the pandemic, excessive use of technology has affected the students' life, and a lot of cases as a principal I have observed, and a proper solution has been done. I'm telling the recently incident that happened in school, like a parent who is working in a company and who has handed over a phone to a child, and the child is using the phone in excessive amount, and especially at night, they are communicating to each other, and naturally that they are in adolescence age, they are sending the vulgar message, wrong text, objectional videos. So this is a great problem when the parents came to know this happened with the child, and so times the child became in tension. The child doesn't take interest in study, and moreover that the child became absent in the school. This is the major issue we are following. Earlier that when we came to know this problem was only in the metropolitan cities, this has come in the rural areas, almost in all schools. And so India is also affected country after the pandemic, because the online process, we have taken the classes, and the students have taken the phone to the parents, and especially the students who are in class 11th and 12th, the parents have handed over the phone to the students. Here that a lot of NCRB data has recovered, and especially the quota with the educational hub. Many approach in the last newspaper I read the news that 26 students have committed suicide. There was a certain reason behind this, but cyberbullying is one of them. So, what should a school do? How can we train the students? How can we train the parents? And how the school staff can handle such situation? So, this is the great responsibility of the school to handle this situation. You know that we are very much familiar that what are the impact of bullying and the cyberbullying over the students, like that the child became absent, came in tension, depression, anxiety, and doesn't take interest in study, the low academic performance. Even that the child does not take participate in any co-scholastic activity. These are major issues. How can we educate the students? This is the basically. The morning assembly is the main part in school. In the morning assembly, we can give them some topic, we can share them some motivational stories, we can insist them to read the inspirational books, and we can also take the students outside the classroom, and we can assign the different job to them so that they can take interest, and they can be aware from a different activity mind, that they never go to the cyberbullying, they never go to the bullying, they can refine their minds, they can do this. Second is that a different counselor can be appointed in the school, even that every school do such kind of activities in the school, that the child who are involved in the bullying and the cyberbullying, and the defense committees have been framed, even that we have also framed a committee in our school. If we are finding such cases in our school, that we keep the students in a separate room, and we discuss with them why did the child did the bullying and cyberbullying, what is happening in your mind, and we try to keep positivity instead of negativity in the mind of the children. So this is the role of the school, that the parents have also the role to keep the child positive, like the parents should spare some time with the children at home. This I have seen, that the parents that who are busy in study, that we also motivate the parents, that we should also during the PTM we can call a special session for the parents, that they can motivate the students at home also, and they could spare some time with the child also. They should know that what is happening in school, and because if the parents are asking the children, that the children can share issues with the parents, so that they can remove the problems, that they can bring in the notice of the principal and school authority, and we can rectify the problems of the school of the child. Secondly is that we should praise the child, we should not demoralize the child at any stage, because that sometimes that if the child is registering his or her mistake to the teacher or the parents, At the time, if we are not listening him or her patiently, naturally that he became irritated that, and in future that he will not share the problems also. So it is that we have to motivate the children. We have to lift the child's academic standard, and we should not forget that every child is genius. Every child has a lot of qualities also. A child who has become trapped, if the child other teacher students are demonizing him or her, we should encourage the child. We should say that you are genius. You have a lot of qualities, and we have to promote the quality of the child, because we can't demoralize anyone there. And second is that as a teacher, that we have to draw the hidden talent of the child by the different ways, different post-scholastic activities. We have to give the responsibility to the child so that he can bear the responsibility, and we can solve this problem. And always we should say that you have a great potential, you have the great academic potential, you have the different attitudes also, and motivate child. Second is that nowadays the training sessions are held in schools. We can call the expert, and we can handle the students who are involved in the bullying and the cyberbullying. We can arrange a training session by the expert. This is the only solution. And we should say every child, we should motivate every child, and we can stop this bullying and cyberbullying in schools by saying the child, बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, बेहतर से बेहतर की तलाश करो, मिल जाए नदी तो समुद्र की तलाश करो, मिल जाए नदी तो समुद्र की तलाश करो, टूट जाता है शीशा पत्थर की चोट से, टूट जाए पत्थर ऐसा शीशा तलाश करो. We have to motivate them, we have to encourage them, then we can solve the problem of the child. Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, every panelist, for this wonderful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajesh sir, for those beautiful lines. It really motivated me as well. So, moving ahead, my next question is for Narendra sir. Sir, what measures does the school take to create a safe and inclusive environment for all students, particularly those who may be vulnerable to bullying? Over to Narendra sir.
Namaskar, ma'am, and all of our uh, principal and I'm happy to say here it's a great team we have to find. Like the cyberbullying. It is
Narendra sir, I think so. There's some internet
again.
connection. Your voice is breaking, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I am audible.
Yes, sir, but your voice is breaking in between. But you're audible.
Hello, ma'am, I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. The educating the mind without educating the heart at all. Always we all the educators all are
I think so. There's some network issue with Narendra, sir. So,
main and major issues.
Narendra, sir, I think so. Can you
Hello.
please check your internet once? Your voice was breaking continuously, middle.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So,
Yes, I
for time being, till Narendra, sir,
audible.
fix his network.
Yes,
So, I
audible,
will.
ma'am.
Sir, please check your network. For now, I'll ask the question from Manju ma'am. Then I'll ask you next, sir. So, my next question is to Anju ma'am. Ma'am, how does the school support and empower students to stand up against bullying and cyberbullying? Over to Anju ma'am.
Good evening, Nandini,
Good evening,
and
ma'am.
to all esteemed panelists on the board. And we are here with a hot topic, and I agree that it's not only my school or my children. The entire world is struggling with this problem of bullying and cyberbullying, I think. And as we are in educational institutes, so definitely the onus lies to us to tackle the situation, as it's the responsibility of the educational institute, where the preliminary years of child and the personality formation comes as a responsibility to us. So it is really very important for all the schools and the educational institutes to think seriously on these lines and to work upon how to combat this situation, and how to work effectively. And as Narendra sir said, that without educating heart, the education given to a mind is just a disaster. So without proper knowledge, without proper guidance, when the children are using this fire substance, so that is the reason the things are coming in front of us. The knife there, you can use it just for your utilization in a productive manner, and at the same time you can stab anyone to the death. So this is something, a proper uses of this particular thing, which is really nowadays very important for each and every aspect of growth. So how to utilize it, how to use it properly, so that responsibility lies with us only. So, and everybody will agree to this, that whatever a person's personality is formed, that is basically a school. Yes, the higher institutes where the children go for their professional studies, for career making or something like that. Generally, whenever we meet any person, the way the person behaves, it comes out from where the child got this, in his childhood, from where he got his schooling. So definitely, as educational institutes, schools have a vital role to play towards making children understand what actually it is and how to handle it and how to use it. So, if I talk about my school, or if I talk about the schools, they must go for employing various strategies to support and empower students to stand up against bullying and cyberbullying. And these efforts involves a combination of education, awareness, communication, and creating a positive school culture. So some common approaches which we can go for is like getting anti-bullying policies. So these policies are basically clear and comprehensive uh, policies, like defining constitute bullying and cyberbullying, and outlining consequences of such behaviors. Then further goes about the same is educating children and awareness programs. So as my previous panelist discussed about, having certain educational and awareness programs in the school, like workshops, seminars, calling experts for the same to address, then short movies, street plays, small acts, or addressing in the assembly, such uh, developing kindness and empathy in children will definitely give us positive results towards it. So this is something like creating a culture for them. Further, like peer support and mentoring is really very important. It's not that all the children are same. So the one who really needs support, we have to identify strong personalities among children, the one who can come forward to listen to the children and to give hands, uh, giving them a confidence ki yes, definitely a child will first approach to the child and will get confidence in their own. age group rather than moving to some senior of them. So peer support is really very important, as we have council members in the school. So along with that, we can have a committee, the one who is working towards this peer support and mentoring to the students, and then bringing certain cases to the seniors to handle it further. So this peer support and mentoring is really very important. For that, we can go for that student redressal cell, we can go for teacher student redressal cell, we can go for open communication is really very important. So these anti-bullying committee. Yeah, sorry, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Rajesh sir, can you please mute yourself? That's why. Yeah. Please go ahead,
so
Anju ma'am. Yes.
and if I say, in my school we have this anti-bullying committee, then we have one helpline number also. Then further to it, we have a complaint box and one email ID. Generally, for these bullying cases, children don't want to reveal their names. Sometime the someone who might have observed have like somebody else going through the bullying, and is afraid that if my name will come forward, maybe that fellow will take me as a target. So in that case, we are having this helpline number, complaint box, and one email ID where students don't have to reveal their name and can register the case for that. So these are certain things which I think educational institutes can practice further for taking care of their children, and making them aware about what actually the cyberbullying is. Not only cyberbullying, bullying, all these things we have to make them aware. Actually, sometimes children, even they don't know that they are going through certain bullying. They don't know that they are like being framed, or they are a prey, or they are in a trap. In the initial stages, they don't come to know that if a person is asking me certain things to send, or so they don't understand that whether they should go for it, and further it is going to create a trap for me, and I will be in a problem. So we have to make them understand that these are the initial things. If any of a person asks you something like that, so don't take it casual, take it seriously. Don't be so open to everyone, and at the same time sab pe shak bhi mat karo. So we have to make them understand the difference between. Then further to it, I think the counseling service is really very important, uh, for both the cases, the one who are going through the bullying, and to them as well, the one who can be the buller. Because even as being a teacher, you can very well identify that these children can become, or may go further for like getting into all these practices. So we have to save both the cases, those who can be a buller, or the one who can be a person, the one who is going to be get bullied. So through counseling services, through counseling, we can combat this. We can make our children understand that in case if you are going to hurt anybody in any circumstance, then what can be the repercussion, how your life is going to get affected through it. It is not only that the one whom you are going to is going to suffer, even the repercussion will be there on you as well. So these are all things which I think the school should address. Then inclusive and respectful school culture is really very important. We have to make our children understand, we have to create a positive school culture, and then we have to make our children learn how to address conflict. So these conflict resolution programs are also very important. We have to make student understand to take rejections. So these all are things, and then we have to empower our students to be a bystander. Like, if not to run away from the situation, or if somebody else is going through a bad time, so you be a bystander to that child, help that child. So in my opinion, these certain things I am in practice, and trying to bring children on a right path. So hope bit of my experiences might have given a little bit of information and awareness to. I know it very well. The entire panel is quite experienced, and educators of India. So it is just a small from my side. Thank you, Nandini, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Anju ma'am. I completely agree with you when you said that there are a lot of students who are not even aware about bullying. They don't know that they're getting bullied, right? So you're right. There should be awareness program in school. Where seminars should be there, short, videos should be shown. Some motivational stories also should be, narrated in the classes. Thank you so much, Anju ma'am, for highlighting these. My next question is for Narendra sir. Sorry, Indranath sir. Sir, how are incidents of bullying and cyberbullying reported and responded to within the school community? Over to Indranath sir. Okay. So my next question is Ravi Kant sir.
Hold on,
Sir,
hold on, hold on, hold on. There was some issue with this placement.
okay, sir. So sir,
Can you hear me?
should I repeat the question, Indranath sir?
Yeah, I could hear you. I could hear you. There was some
Yes.
problem here.
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening to you, Nandini. Good evening, all the fellow panelists, and good evening to all the viewers of your show. The question is about reporting and responding. So I'll segregate the two separately. First part is the reporting. Now, when we talk about reporting, it can be done in four ways. To me, it appears like that. And what I say is very, very general. And different schools can actually apply it in different ways. First is the reporting part, which could be direct reporting or anonymous reporting. B, it could be trusted adults. C, it could be parental involvement. And D, it could be peer reporting. Now, I'll just elaborate these in a few lines. When it's direct reporting, we can have like most of the panelists said, we have an kind of an anti-bullying committee where the children go and report. It could be students, council, it could be teachers, and all these things. The only thing which I suggest to everyone to keep in mind is when we form a committee, the members should be told to keep the things confidential. They should understand the meaning of confidentiality, because there are times when children confide certain things and members leak it out to the others, which in the long run is pretty harmful. Anonymous reporting is something where a child, if he or she is afraid of some retaliation, then they go for this, which could be online platform, like the other panelists said, an email ID, which could be told about to every student, or it could be a Dropbox. The placement of the Dropbox is very, very important. It shouldn't be at an open place. Rather, it should be at a place which is easily accessible to the students, but not open to everybody to actually see who is dropping something. Number two is trusted adult, like the committee, the anti-bullying committee, we can call it. We can give it any name we feel like, which should comprise of teachers, counselor, maybe some office staff members, because different children are actually comfortable with different people, different staff members. And it can also include some student council member if the need be. Now, this is where children can actually report, and then they take it forward to the school higher authorities, the administration, the principal, whosoever is concerned. Then the third reporting is from the parents' involvement. This is particularly in case of a day school, because children spend about 8 hours in school, balance 16 hours they are with the parents. So parents, if they understand something is going wrong with the child, either in school or at home, they should be informed to inform the school authorities without wasting any time in between, so that course of action or whatever action needed, that can be taken. And number 4 is, of course, peer reporting. Children should be encouraged, all students, whether it's in the morning assembly or during moral science classes or during the class teachers period, different times, like if by chance they witness any kind of bullying going around in the campus, outside the campus, or anywhere, they should report either directly or as, like I say, anonymous person, so that people come to know about it. Now, this is about reporting. The next part is very important, where we people, we come in the forefront, which is called the response. How do we respond? So the first part here also I've divided it into 4 categories, 4 parts. A, number 1 is investigation. B is support for the victim. C is disciplinary action. And D is involvement of civil authority. Now, when we elaborate, the first part, investigation, is the most important part here, because it's very important to know from the victim, once we get a news, to know how far the child or the student is telling or speaking the truth or not. Because there are cases which even I have come across, where children, out of their imaginations, sheer imagination, they lay allegation against somebody. So the first part, which is very important, is investigation, where you investigate, number 1, the victim, number 2, the perpetrator, and number 3, the witnesses. Cross-question them. So you come to know to what extent or to exactly what the nature of the bullying is. Once you are sure there has been some kind of bullying done, then number 2 is the support for the victim. This is very important for the child who has faced some kind of bullying to feel secure and safe inside the school. This happens mostly in boarding school, where the security of the child is very, very important. Here, at least parents are there after school, they can take care. But the safety of the child definitely lies with the school. So that security is provided by the counselor, the mentors. They require proper mentoring. So mentors are important. The principal comes in picture. And now comes third part, that's the disciplinary action. This again depends upon the outcome of the investigation, which shows the nature and the extent. And now comes the perpetrator, the one who has done. Is it or he or she the first time? Is he or she the habitual one? Or is it a teenager out of somebody provoked or somebody instigated him? They have done it. Depending upon what kind of bullying was done, to what extent, by whom. I mean, disciplinary action could be apology by the parent, by the children, suspension from school, rustication or expulsion from school, depending upon, like I said, various factors. Fourth part is important, where we involve civil authorities, whether it's the administration or the police, because this has a dependency on the extent or how severe the case has been, whether it's a case which is leading to some kind of harassment, it's leading to some kind of threats. If we can perceive that there is some threat involved, then definitely we should involve them as well. This is all from my side. Thank you.
आज ये बैंक वाला टाइम ज्यादा यूज हो गया ना, और जैसे मान लो कि ये अभी का पेमेंट सुबह का आएगा ना, कल फिर जमा कराने चलेंगे बेटा.
Sorry, everyone. So, thank you so much, Indranath sir. Thank you for giving your views and simplifying it and telling the steps and also the very major thing, the nature of bullying we need to identify. So, thank you so much, sir. My very next question is for Chaya ma'am. Ma'am, how does the school address the role of social media and technology in relation to bullying and cyberbullying? Over to Chaya ma'am.
Namaste. Am I audible?
Yes, Chaya ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Namaste. Good evening, all the panelists, and thank you for giving a very good topic today, bullying and cyberbullying for all the panelists. And I feel for today's generation and for today's, after the technology has improved, this is the best topic what you have chosen. Thank you for that. Cyberbullying, day by day, it is going on increasing, as many of my colleagues have already told that. But it was not there 20 years back, and still it is growing on day by day very vastly. Why? Because of this technology. Technology, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Technology, yeah, technology is very necessary nowadays. But it is our duty to see that whether the students, the school, are using the technology in a proper way. We just always do that, we blame each other. Sometimes the school blames the students, the other members, the family members. The family blames to the school, and the school always blames to the family members, the family and all. So the increase in cyberbullying is going on day by day, increasing a lot. If we all together come together, I hope it may decrease. Why is it happening? Because feeling of loneliness and unsafety for the students leads for this type of situation. Why? Why the child is feeling insecure when it is in the hand of the school and when it is the hand in the hands of the parents? Why it is leading into a wrong path? Because nowadays parents are not having time because the students are not at all listening to the parents. Some parents. Cities, parents are already engaged in their routine. They are going to the job. They don't have the time to spend with the students, with their children. They, in the village, the parents are not educated. So here for the parents, it is very difficulty to find out that whether the my child where it is using technology, is it on the correct path? As you know, this technology has come recently. Many parents still they don't know to use the mobile cell in a proper way. Child goes home and tell that the homework or whatever the work is given by the school, it is on online and I want to see, I want to work on the mobile. And on the other hand, we just tell the parents that I want to go and sit alone in the class, in my room, and I want to study. Please don't disturb me. Parents poorly think that, yeah, the child is doing that. Let me not disturb the child. Let him study. But what comes the result? The child is getting addicted to the bad thing. And not only that, the child will give the other students, they make the other students to follow the same line. So, what as educators we have to do? We have to counsel the child. We have to take into the confidence first for the child. As we are the educators, we can find out by seeing the attentiveness of the child in the school. Well, why the child is irregular to the school? Why the child is not getting interest in his studies? What is the reason behind it? We can give directly call to the parents and we can ask them, what's the reason the child is moving away from the studies? What are our role? How we can make together and see together, sit together and make the child to come to the path. There are many causes for the addiction. It may be due to stress. Yes, stress is also a very important role nowadays because everyone wants the children to become a doctor and engineer. Maybe the thinking is correct. Everyone wants to be their children on the higher position. No doubt, everyone wants to do that. But on the other hand, it is our duty to see that whether my child is able, capable. Am I ready to give that much of time to my child? I have given the basic knowledge for him that Am I sitting with my child for 4 to 5 hours with the child so that he can be away from the media? Just we are imposing him that you have to get so and so. Your friend is able to do that, why can't you? This is the question where always the school also tells, and even the parents. So I feel, being a parent, being the educationist, we have to get down our dreams also a little bit, being friendly with the students. Instead of focusing on the marks, we should focus on the concept, whether the child has understood the concept. Of course, marks also depends a lot to get admissions in the good schools. On the other hand, we also should focus more on that how much time the child is spending on the social media. How is leading to the cyberbullying? There are few ways to avoid such addictions. Looking for the better alternative. We can ask the child, instead of going for 2 hours on the media, at once you cannot stop it. It is better you go for half an hour, get a good book, read the book, spend your time on some other story books which you like. Go for mythology or any mathematics books or whichever the subject you love, so that you can spend your time, your valuable time, in the interesting part where you are getting. Slowly, but not at once, it will not be taken care. If I tell a child you are using media for 2 hours, immediately stop. He will never do. He will see one more point and he can move to the other end also. Secondly, he has to find out for himself a good hobbies. Instead of sitting all the time at home, he has to move to the ground where he can play with his friends. He has to spend a little bit time. One more reason is that a nuclear family. First, there were joint families. Everyone would have eye on each other. So everyone would take care of the family members. Now, because of this neutral family, no one are able to give full attention toward the child, where the child has to move. Yes, he's getting freedom in the media, where he's able to expose himself, where he's getting many likes from his friends, he's getting many bad things to see from the mobile. Don't you feel that we are also responsible for the child to make him to push to that level? Are we talking to our students when the child is coming to us by doing some mistakes? We, as a edu leaders, just we know to punish the child. Don't you feel that we are also wrong? Instead of punishing the child, if we counsel the child in a proper way, see, better you have done so and so wrong, no issue. Further, don't do. Yeah, many of us we do in this way. Some students will move aside and they see that they are again coming into the correct path. But I feel more than parents, they have a fear for us. We have to be very careful when we are counseling the child instead of scolding. If we are very lovely with the child, doing good with the child, definitely the child may realize his mistake and they may come out of the bullying or whatever they are doing for the other students. Sometimes it may be because of the pressure of the parents. What will happen? The parents are always comparing the child. One question for all of us, when the parents are comparing, why only one member is PM, why aren't we all a PM? If the child puts the question for us one day, why only he is a PM or she is a PM, why not you? What shall we answer? There is a no answer for us also. Everyone are different. Everyone have their own goal. Yeah, because there are no one to guide the child in a proper way, the child is misusing the way and it is going to the wrong path. I hope because they are still in the younger age, if we are going to be with them and if we counsel, the child will automatically come out instead of hating his friend, harassing the friend. One day, if we make him to realize, he may start loving his friend and he may tell, yeah, because of you, today I'm able to do this all. Teenagers is one of the major role for bullying and all, because They want to spend, they are just enjoying it. They don't know that how it is affecting the other, the person to whom they are doing. They are enjoying it. They think, nothing. It is a like game. Whatever I'm doing, it is like a game. Let me do. It is a fun for him. It is a fun for the child one who is doing. But the child one who is wearing, for him, it is like hanging himself. Because if you go and sometime what happened, the child want to express everything to someone, but no one is there for him to listen. Maybe sometime even we are not free. You may tell, I'm very busy, please come tomorrow. The same day the child cannot express to us, and in the same day that he may go for the very deep depressions. First of all, I feel that whenever the child comes to us, it may be I am a parent, I may be a principal, whoever I am, when the child is coming to us, we should keep our door open for the child to express his feeling. Whenever the child wants to speak something, it is our first duty to express. Please do come here. What you have? This has happened. Okay, no issue, better. See, now what you have done is done. Further, don't do. In this way, if we are going to counsel the child, definitely the child is going to change itself. Still, there are many development, and we have to go for the development according to the technology. Giving the homework, it is who we made them to move towards the technology because of this COVID. Why are we again blaming the technology? We only started giving the online classes. We made them to take the mobiles. We were the person who forced the parents to take the mobile, to give the education for them. Now, we only are telling the parents that you are giving the mobile to them. Yes, that was a different era during COVID, where it was compulsory that every parent had to buy a mobile and give for the child for their education. Now, when the child is coming to the school, and at that time, if they were at home, the child has lost 2 years of education. When the child was not using mobile, at that time, he lost his studies. Now, to cover up that studies, he's getting very difficult. So, there are do's and don'ts in every time. So, the child one who was not at the school, he lost his education. The child who was on the online, he has entered the social media. They are so smart. The child of second standard is so smart. If he is doing something other work, until the parent reaches to his mobile, they immediately change what they are doing. Yeah, because technology has taught him, and he has taken that much interest in doing that rather than in the education, the books, what the school is teaching. Why? And that's why. Because he is getting interest there instead of getting the interest in the books, what the school is teaching. Why we are always blaming the students? And why the school only is blamed? Is it not the parent also? Parents, just they're scared of the children to punish. Nowadays, many of the parents, we have only one kids. Madam, what to do? Let him do whatever he wants. Do you think the parent one who is having 10 children and he gives someone to hang that child? The parent is having the same love and affection for all the 10 children. It's not for that one child is having more affection. If the mother is going to lose one of the child among the 10, she weeps the same as much as one mother weeps for one child. So I think being the educators, parents, is our duty to save our children from doing the bad things. Thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to speak here. Thank you for all the panelists. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Chaya ma'am, for sharing your viewpoints. My next question is for Aradhana ma'am. Ma'am, what strategies does the school employ to promote empathy, kindness, and respect among students? Over to Aradhana ma'am.
Thank you, Nandini, and a very good evening to all the panelists and the viewers. First of all, to address the question, there are no strategies employed in school at all. It should not be, because as soon as you think of promoting values like this consciously, they just lose their sense. These qualities are not curriculum items. These are fundamental components of school ethos and culture. So when a school establishes a positive, inclusive atmosphere students are more likely to absorb these values like kindness, empathy, and respect through their daily interactions and experiences. Now, adults in a school community, whether they are teachers or the administrators, they serve as role models. So when these authority figures consistently demonstrate empathy, kindness, respect, students are more likely to just mirror these behaviors. When students feel valued, they feel included, they're likely to exhibit these kind of values very, very naturally. And their respect for others, regardless of their differences, grow. Now, let me ask you, as parents, do we strategize to make our children kind, respectful, or empathetic? We don't. In a household where the parents are respectful towards the elders, the children are respectful. In a household where parents are kind towards their household help, children are kind. So this empathy, kindness, this all comes from just mirroring behavior. Now, if a student is, what do you mean by disrespectful? Sometimes our idea of disrespect is also different. You have seen a lot of teachers, coming to you as principals and saying, this child was misbehaving, is disrespectful. What did he do? He back answered. Now, what is back answer? Now, if a child is questioning you, if a child is arguing with you, do you treat it as disrespect? Secondly, why is he being disrespectful to you? What will he gain from it? If a student is disrespectful to a teacher or a school head or a principal, I think we need to internally examine why is he being disrespectful. There is something in us which is not able to mirror, something in us that he has learned, and he does not feel that feeling of respect. So some way you have to internalize this. Now, errant behavior is often punished very harshly, and I see a lot of schools these days expelling children. Now, so many heads are there. I would like to ask all of you, how many of you have taken a student expelled from another school? Would you take it? When a student comes to you and you know that he's been expelled by a school, would you take a student? No, because somewhere we are absolving ourselves a responsibility of making this society. So now, from a personal example, I speak from experience. I somehow always feel that the best of schools, when they take in students, they want to take in the best. If you see the best schools, they will take a test, they will see parents interview, they will see that a child is getting 95 and above, on sometimes 99. They will see that the parents are educated, parents have time to look after their children's education, and then they will give admission. And then they gloat that our school is so good, our result is 100. Where is 100%? Where is the glory in getting a 99% student to 100%? Your glory is in getting the students who are below average and making them just above average. Even that is your glory. So similarly, I speak from experience. We have taken in a few students who have been expelled from, they've been expelled from other schools. But somehow, with so many years of experience, you see a child and you see that, there is some potential in a child. And somehow I just feel it's a challenge to me. Let me see if I can do something to a child. Now, if I can't, it's status quo. The child was expelled, bad behavior. If I can't do anything, it's still a bad behavior. But in case I can you imagine the satisfaction you get of giving a different life to a child? So I'm very proud to say that we have turned around students, like these. And when they, come back and they change personalities, this is where the students learn kindness, empathy, because somebody has been empathetic towards them, towards their problem. So in turn, they will be empathetic, adults. And this has earned us their respect. And this is where they learn respect. So we have dealt with bullies, or, just dealing with them with kindness has really yielded, very good results. And they feel so indebted to us when they turn around in their personalities, that the success of this such behavior encourages teachers also. Because once, you see a turnaround in even one child, the teacher feels that her job is worth it. And then they know that, if they have these kind of qualities, the students are bound to mirror it. And gradually this becomes a school ethos. Now, when it becomes a school ethos, this is where these qualities are imbibed in the children. So rather than isolating students, empathy, kindness, respect, they are not standalone concepts. Schools have to integrate these values in different practices, policies of the school. A school policy: we will not reject any child, we will take it up as a challenge. It does greatly to garner respect in the students, in the teachers also. So this integration helps to reinforce these qualities in the school. Now, schools also then build a sense of community. Can you imagine a child who's been expelled from another school, taken by this school, and he turns around what the parent feels for the school? So this is how you get the parent community on board. They will go and tell 10 other parents that, listen, my child was going through so much, this is a school that helped me. So it creates a very strong foundation between the parents, between the children and the school, and lesser problems you will have with these. So these values may be marginally cemented by lessons, say workshops, posters, activities, discussions. We have all these assembly ideas, but they're not inculcated by these methods. They're inculcated by mirroring these values in yourself. Yes, it always helps. People go on drives, people have assembly ideas, all of us do it in schools. But definitely, they may do an assembly idea, they may have a skit on, kindness and empathy, and the next moment they will be bullying somebody else. So it does not inculcate values. It only just adds to it. Secondly, exposure to children to the less fortunate. Now, taking these children or exposing them to children especially, who are less fortunate, I think it does wonders to a child. Children are very emotional beings. To appeal to their emotions is very important. So if you take take your children to an orphanage, say, and just take them, and not take them as a picnic, but take them and then let them see that they are lucky children who've been blessed so much. They feel that gratitude. I've seen children, after they come back from an orphanage visit or remand home visit or something, they are changed people, at least for a few days. And gradually, if you take them more and more, they will be changed adults also, because you have to appeal to the emotional side of children. I'll just give you a very small example. This child was not behaving well, and Mrs. Chaya Sharma said, he came to me and I said, I have so much faith in you. You are such a good child. I know you will not do it. And, he was moved. And I really thought that next moment he will change. But after a few days, he repeated this whole thing. So I just called him. I said, I had so much faith in you. I'm so hurt today. I'm just so hurt that you have not kept up to my faith. And I have nothing to say to you. So carry on, be what you are. And gradually, one day, you will realize on your own. So this child has had tears in his eyes, and he came back on his own. I said, ma'am, I'm very sorry. I know I've hurt you. I know I have not kept up. But now on, see, I will never give you a chance to tick me off again. So it is just, and children, if you expect that they'll change overnight, they won't. But gradually, if you appeal to their emotion self, they do, and they develop these kind of values on their own. So thank you very much. I think I've said enough.
Thank you so much, Aradhana ma'am. First of all, let me tell you, we all are very, very, very proud of you. I mean, you're giving chances to those students who are, I'm sure after getting expelled from a school, they must be demotivated. So you're building their personality, and at the same time, you're making them a strong individual for the future. So thank you so much, Aradhana ma'am, for sharing your viewpoints and your stories as well. So my next question is for Bhavna ma'am. Bhavna ma'am, how does the school measure the effectiveness of its anti-bullying initiatives and programs? Over to Bhavna ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nandini, for asking what as a very important question. As the final speaker, or I believe the last speaker in our session on addressing bullying and cyberbullying in schools, I would like to emphasize the crucial steps we collectively take to foster a safer and more inclusive environment for our students. My fellow panelists, they have already shared their viewpoint. Aradhana ma'am just now have shared a very nice example. Even Chaya ma'am talk about the measures. Sir talk about reporting and respond, and Anju ma'am talk about Dropbox, anti-bullying committee, and Mr. Rajesh talk about that you need to praise the child and motivate. Swati ma'am talk about measuring. So all these things as an educationist, we all are doing. What we are doing, how we are measuring, is to have a proper survey and feedback mechanism so that we know. For that, you may conduct a quiz in the assembly, you may conduct a written, you may give a Google form. So we collect how means, and there are questions very time to time. In a quiz, we ask them how much you are in link, and there are indirect questions that tell you about that. Then if something happened, incident reporting and analysis we do, and I believe how to respond, how to report, everything has been already shared by Narendra sir. And academic and attendance record, this point has been emphasized by Mr. Rajesh. And this is all these all are the measures which every school is taking. And one more thing which I always tell my teachers, that you have to act as a psychologist, as a counselor, and check the behavioral observations, what they are doing, what they are means, how they are behaving. Are they developing something which is not in common use? So we need to see. Then we need to check the discipline data analysis. That is like, we need to see that is there any incident, there is a we need to review that in my school we name it as vigilance committee. So they vigil every time, every nook and time. They have registers, they report, and every corner has been monitored. So whenever we found such thing is happening in our campus, we immediately report, and and a disciplinary action has been taken. And then we conduct staff and peer interviews. That we need to engage in conversation with students and the staff to gather the qualitative insights into the school climate. Then only we will be able to know, yes, something is happening or not. Their perceptions we need to know, and what are the effectiveness of anti-bullying techniques. And for this, we need to review our program components also, that what we are applying, what we are doing, is it right or wrong? Is it really happening or wrong? Happening or not? So, I just want to quote one line in Hindi. साइबर बुलिंग को रोकने का सबसे अच्छा तरीका है सजगता, समर्थन और सही दिशा में तकनीकी कदम. अब जहां तकनीकी कदम की बात आती है, we need to tell them, we need to aware them, and that is very important. We need to every month I try to conduct one cyber security session in my school. I call the cyber experts, be it from cyber cell, be it from some famous personalities, because we need to tell them each and every time that what are the repercussions of it, what will affect, what is the IT Act 2000, what is Data Protection Act, Data Person and Data Protection Act 2023. Just now it has been in use now. So we need to tell them. Especially, I would like you all to please focus on section 43A and section 66 to 72. We need to aware our students that these are, because right now they don't even thought of sending any message, sending any mail, sending any reel, anything. They don't even think. But we need to tell them that if you are doing so, that comes under the crime as per the cyber law. So you have to be very, 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 very sensitive. Think, act, share. You don't have to jump over it. So you need to sensitize this, and for that reason, sometimes I give them, being the cybersecurity from a cybersecurity background, a trainer of a cybersecurity and a computer science teacher. I give them some, like, you have a URL check, you use it, you use that. So this is how you can trace, and there are so many things. So just now you need to tell them that you have to be, you don't have to be the buller, you don't have to be the person who is facing that. You just and you don't, and you have to uh, see in the society what is going on. In my campus, it's a grace of God that we are on a safe side, and but we need to share this with everybody. सो हम, बहुत पुरानी बात है कि हम होने नहीं दे रहे, हमारे पास हो भी नहीं रहा, बट हम अपने सामने होने भी नहीं देंगे, हम अवेयर करेंगे। तो इसके लिए बहुत अच्छी चीज है जो मेरे बच्चे बहुत अच्छे तरीके से करते हैं, मैं आपके ग्रुप में भेजूंगी। हम नुक्कड़ नाटक करते हैं ऑन साइबर क्राइम्स, ऑन साइबर सी 1930 पे कॉल कब करना है। So on this, so we keep on doing nukkad nataks, so that emphasize, that reiterate that point again and again, again and again, and that comes in the back of your conscious. Yes, we don't have to do it. This is all about mind game. If you have in your mind that it's okay, fine, it's okay, fine, I'm just sending a message only, na? It's like that attitude, that casual. So we need to train that, and you have already asked this question from one of our panelists. Ethics. Here comes, when you start bullying, that means there is a problem with the ethics only. Then only you start doing so. So it's a very deep dive. We need to deep dive. We need to correct the roots, and then we have to come over it. So it's thank you, and it was a pleasure listening to you all. Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, NTAP, for connecting and calling me here in this platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhavna ma'am. I will request you to please share the link. I genuinely want to watch the Nukkad Natak, and so the other panelists as well. So thank you so much once again, ma'am. So my next question is for Jitendra Kaur ma'am. Ma'am, in what ways does the school collaborate with parents and the border community to address bullying and cyberbullying? Over to ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nandini. Nandini, first, good evening to you. Good evening to everybody here. And thanks a lot, NTAB, to giving this opportunity. And here I would like to, first of all, I would like to segregate both bullying and cyberbullying. So, what I feel, bullying is different from cyberbullying. In bullying, we are able to identify the child who is doing this, and we could easily take action, or we have chances to correct the child, or to correct the situations, or to control the situations. But on the other hand, in cyberbullying, sometimes we are helpless. In front of us only victim is there, but culprit we are not able to find out. We are taking help of experts, but still we are unable to approach or reach to the particular culprit. So here my first, we need to understand that generally we discuss with the parents, or in such cases of bullying and cyberbullying, first we try to make them understand to the parents that both are precious for us, whether the victim or the culprit, both are precious. What I feel, if a child is victim, he is in pain, he is in depression, he is in anxiety, or maybe in the thoughts of taking some bad actions, or like suicidal or something. But the positive side for the victim is the parents are with victim, teachers are with victim, principal is with victim, the whole system is with victim. But for culprit, Generally, we are in the mode of judgment. We are judgmental at the side of culprit. And we are minimizing the chances of correcting the child. Here, both parents, whether the parents of victim or the parents of culprit, we need to take in the confidence first. Because the parents of victim, they are keep on trying to take strong action against the victim, either in the case of bullying or in the case of cyberbullying. And sometimes they are overreacting. Sometimes they are like trying to force the school to take strong action against the child who is doing the bullying. And what I feel in this, as discussed by the ma'am, uh, they are conducting Nukkad Natak and all. So, what I feel in this, rather than policing all the time, making committees, these are we are doing all the schools, we are doing this, we are making committees, we are taking different clubs, we are making in the schools, but all these acts are policing. But what I feel, rather than policing all the time, students should be self disciplined. I believe in self discipline, and for that, we need to provide them like platform for the well behavior, self disciplined acts. Most of the time, what we do, suppose teacher is not in the class, students they started bullying each other, and immediately teacher is reaching in the class and they started shouting on the they start shouting on the children. In this case, just we need to. Am I audible, ma'am? Am I
Yes,
audible,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Fine. So, what I believe, self discipline should be there in the students. But if you say, "Ki, ma'am, which era are you in? Students are not self disciplined in these days. Here, we need to be more focused on the culprit rather than the victim. And personal experience I wanted to share with you for a couple of years, like 2, 3 years back, one child was there who had done cyber crime, and the parents are not with the child. They were ki, clearly he is not my son. So at the time, the whole system was against the child. At that time, one of my teachers, she came forward. She took responsibility of the child, and she said, "Child, bacha, I'm with you. You are here in the school for from nursery class.
Nandini, we lost her signals.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I'll just text ma'am.
you may conclude now, I believe.
Yes, sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So thank you so much, everyone. For connecting with us, and thank you to all the educators for imparting your knowledge on this topic. So it was a very insightful event. So thank you so much. Looking forward to many more panel discussion with you all. And I'm Nandini Padhe. I would like to sign off. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Nandini.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nandini. Thank you, entire
Right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nandini. Thank you. It was wonderful interacting with everyone.
Likewise, sir. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Take care.
everyone. Good night. Good night. Thank
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Jatinder ma'am. Actually,
Yeah.
we lost the connection, and then that's why everyone left the panel.
Okay. So
So
even I'm leaving. Fine.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am,
One thing
if
I
you
want
want,
to just
we can do the panel. Actually, ma'am, I couldn't. Just a minute. I'll just end the streaming.
wait. Just end the meeting.